Welcome to the YNTAAY minis. Oh my God, the N turns sideways, Paolo.
That's strange. Strange things.
Well, anyway, I'm Chris, and this is Paolo.
Hi.
We're here today to talk about this controversy involving Kathy Griffin. Paolo, why don't you tell the people what happened?
Well, Kathy Griffin thought it would be a really great idea, very funny, to sever the president's head.
Not literally.
Not literally, but sever the head and make it all bloody, like the nicest look, and post a photo about it all over social media.
Now, we're not going to show the picture because it's too disgusting. But look, I did cover it up with smiley faces, and I put a little flag on her blouse. Now, this wasn't me making a political statement about what a good American Kathy Griffin is. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that I had these extra flag stickers that I was going to put on a card to my mother for the 4th of July. I still have one, Betty, for your card, but I thought that I would use that one to cover up a stain on her blouse. So, and I put these little smiley stickers over top of that face because I just didn't want to see that hideous, smug, smirking face with that swooping hair all matted with blood. I wonder what kind of blood they use.
I don't know.
Because it was very shiny and glistening.
Maybe ketchup with nail polish.
It wasn't ketchup. I mean, this is some really, really shiny looking stuff.
That's a disturbing
But it's very disturbing, and it has caused a firestorm.
Firestorm.
And I'm telling you, it's to distract us. There's something going on over here.
I agree.
And they're like, look over here. And
look at
the
all
real
this
thing
nonsense.
is going over here. Now, the photographer is Tyler Shields. We should show his picture too. And he is a very controversial LA photographer. He does all sorts of edgy things.
Photography.
I think it was his idea. They talked about it and they decided to do this to make a little statement, and he said it was timely.
I don't think it's timely at all.
The people weren't ready for it.
Nope.
But Kathy issued an apology in a video that she made where she didn't make wear any makeup.
Yeah.
And her hair looks awful.
It's almost like it's uncanny, the resemblance to the head.
I know. The head and her, I can't tell the difference.
Which one's which?
But now what was your initial reaction, Paolo? Were you outraged?
Before all the hoopla and the backlash and all the Facebook posts about it, I definitely thought it was distasteful, and I was kind of like, I wasn't having the same vitriol reaction as everybody else, but I certainly understand the outcry, the outrage, and obviously she does as well, which is why she apologized for it.
She did apologize, even though she was sort of shamed into doing it.
What's interesting is, people bringing up how, look at all those pictures from when President Obama was being hung up by his neck through a little puppet and put on fire and all these things, and where was the outrage?
Well, I thought those were very disturbing too.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think there was outrage. I just think the platform by which that outrage was vocalized is different, seeing as how you have a public figure, a celebrity of sorts, a comedian, who is through the media, propagating these kind of jokes as a joke, but a political commentary, versus some redneck racist in the South who decides to take images and put them on the internet of themselves doing terrible things, and nobody pays as much heed or wants to give it any attention because it doesn't deserve the attention because it's deplorable and vitriol and disgusting. So in those instances, you have a different sort of dynamic playing out here because the outrage is there on both sides because it's never okay to make fun of that sort of thing in such a violent way.
Even though they weren't making a threat, it's certainly a threatening image, and I wouldn't want to see a Chris head held up or a Paolo head.
Or anybody
But
had, no.
especially you don't threaten the president, no matter
No.
who it is,
No.
even if it's Jimmy Carter.
Exactly. And to say it's timely, I mean, if you mean timely by the fact that there are actual human beings that are being beheaded around the world, you know, these are kids that have been lost. These are somebody's sons and daughters that have been disgustingly, inhumanely violated and killed and murdered. It's not funny. There's nothing redeemingly funny about that. And I think that's, even with the 9/11 jokes, there's always a, you know, is it too soon? And there's always, it's still controversial and it's still offensive. There's a, you know, I think it's interesting. I don't not support her right to have taken that photo and done that photo shoot, but what kind of an actual person and a really genuinely funny person, you know, would do that?
Well,
you know?
I mean, it wasn't funny. She's supposed to be
Right,
funny.
but I mean,
She's supposed to
what
entertain us. And
so that was not something that she even had grounds to be doing then, if because you associate comedy with Kathy Griffin because she's a comedian. So
well, maybe she thinks because she's an artist and
but
is
that's
this
not
art.
the vibe I got. It was just in any which way you spin it, it's a terrible decision.
Well, because
that
I
made,
get
so.
I get nervous that you know, if we say, oh, this art is allowed, but this art isn't.
Yeah, and I
then-
don't support that.
then-
Just like I said, I support her right to have done it. It just shows the type of person to do that. I'm not saying she's a horrible person. It was a bad decision and she regrets it heavily. But what I'm saying, so I don't take away the right that she should have done it. But I also don't think it's wrong for everybody to be like, what is going on here? This is really
Because
offensive and disgusting.
Because
you know?
You know, if we set a law
set a
that
standard,
says you can't,
no.
you can do this, but you can't do
No,
that.
no.
Because as you know, I've written a new show called Feet First for the Fringe Festival, and I'm paired with some shows that we are considered R-rated. And if artists aren't allowed to express themselves, I have this big gay foot fetish show. There's a show called Chatterbait about a website where people touch themselves to entertain you for coins on the internet. There's a show called Fucked Up Fairy Tales. We could be easily told this is offensive. We have to shut the show
Censorship
down.
is an interesting topic, and that's subjective to a lot of different people. Who's the authority on the matter? Who's to decide what should be censored, what shouldn't be censored, et cetera, et cetera.
But yes, don't make threats about anybody. Now, poor
Not
Kathy
prevent.
Griffin, and I say poor because I do like her, and she did apologize.
She did.
The artist didn't apologize, as I said, Tyler Schultz. He's not sorry for it, and he stands by it. I'm thinking that he's not going to have as much problems in his career as she is. And is it because, one, he's not as famous, but is it because he's a man, so he will be fine, and she's a woman, so people have practically put her head up on a pole and carried it around?
Ironically.
No
pun
unintended.
intended.
But, I mean, it's true.
I mean,
women can't get away with things
But
that
I mean,
men will.
that there's definitely that is something to be raised and talked about. But I mean, does it matter at this point? I mean, it should. What we should be discussing is if a man did do that, it'd still be just as offensive and just as wrong. But I think in this dynamic, when you have a photographer, if that was a lady photographer, she would get just as much of the feedback.
Annie Leibovitz would just put you in a milk bath. She's not gonna put your head in somebody's hand.
Yeah, but I mean, if the tables were turned and it was like a male and a female photographer, I still think the male would probably get more. I think just generally the person behind the camera, they're not anywhere near. They're not a public figure. They don't have the same status and same celebrity awareness and all that. So it's a different playing field there.
But it's very interesting, and we're sad because she has been fired from the New Year's Eve gig.
Yeah.
So New Year's Eve will not be the same. Even Anderson Cooper could not defend her. He said that this was way too far. So, yes. So I'm boycotting New Year's Eve. I'm just going to go right on to New Year's Day where nothing happens.
I agree.
Okay, well, that's what we think about it. We feel terrible about it.
Just terrible.
Just awful.
Awful.
And I wish that she could take it back.
We all do.
Maybe we could go to the eternal sunshine of
Of
the spotless mind and have
just
this
be like,
wiped from
beep,
time.
beep, beep, and then get
Yes.
rid of it, yeah.
But anyway, artists, keep making your art. Maybe
Yes.
something will stick and not be controversial. And if you're in the LA area, do go to hollywoodfringe.org and search for 1001 minutes of new musicals and check out these 3 shows. You're going to get 3 one-acts together, and it's a little controversy, so I'm scared. I don't want to have to make my face look like that and make an apology, because I'm not sorry. Feet rule, y'all. Okay, oh, that's the sound of goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.